Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. David Orman, and welcome to another episode of the Wellness Shot for the week of April 6th. And today's topic is why willpower doesn't matter that much and what does. So, uh, I've been involved in martial arts since 1985, way back in Pennsylvania. And it has made a huge difference in my life. And here's an example of it. Maybe 18, 20 years ago, when I was training in an art called Aikido, I had missed a class and I was just, I was a little sore, a little tired, just decided, I'm going to take the day off. And when I went to class the following day, a gentleman who was probably 20, 25 years older than me. I had been training for, I don't know, maybe 8 years or 10 years. He had been training for probably 30. And he was what I would call New York prickly, let's say. Didn't mince words. And we became kind of friends. And he walks up to me and goes, "So I missed you yesterday." I said, "Yeah, I needed a day off. I was a little sore. My such and such was hurt or whatever." He goes, "Oh, it's too bad." I said, "Yeah, it's okay now." He goes, "No, it's not too bad that that hurt. It's too bad that you missed." I said, "Why? Was there, great class?" He goes, "You missed the opportunity to for your brain to tell your body what you want it to experience." That irritated me, because I was expecting a little softness, a little comfort, but I should have known better. Nevertheless, it left a huge impact on me. And since that time, I have rarely, rarely, rarely missed any of the martial arts classes that I have signed up for. And when I look back at from that time to the present, I would say of the times that most people miss, I would say 80% of the time are what I would call legitimate. In other words, they're coughing and sneezing and they don't want to get anybody else sick because they're sick. There's a serious injury. Their wife needs this or their spouse needs this. They have work. They have adult responsibilities. That that just comes with the territory. That just comes with being an adult, still training in an art. And that goes for anything, regardless of the art or regardless of the activity. I'm talking about that other 20% when you don't want to go, so you talk yourself out of it. And in those instances, you may have missed the greatest class that you have ever experienced. You may have missed the opportunity to hear something that you needed to hear at that exact moment. It would have provided the solution to the issue that you were struggling with. You may have met somebody who knew someone who knew someone who set you up with the opportunity to expand your business or to start a business or to get a new job or to meet someone who's going to change your life entirely. You'll never know. And it's hard to hear that. At least I find it hard to hear that. But I also remember what that's like. Anger lasted about 2 minutes. It was the sadness and maybe the pain that lasted a while, but it was that pain that oh, I can't do this. I can't miss an opportunity to experience something. That type of feeling that has always been one of the driving forces, not the major one, but I would say number two. And when I mention this to various groups, not only with martial arts, as you can see by my shirt here, I teach an art called Sistema. I also teach an art called Krabi Krabong. And I'll hear people say, I didn't feel like coming to class. I was a little blue, or, I just got home. I was tired. Those are the opportunities that are lost. Like I said, it's a different story when, my wife is sick and I needed to help her out, or, I had to work that day. Those you can't do anything about those. Those are the higher responsibilities. It's the other ones. And when I talk to people about this, I'll often hear, well, you just have more willpower. Willpower is for amateurs. Willpower does not last. Willpower is the little fireworks that goes up and you go, wow. And 11 seconds later, if that, it's over. You can easily talk yourself into willpower. One of the substances that actually you can use with to increase willpower is an herb, is a it's not really an herb. It's a part of an ingredient called lutein, which is found in tomatoes, in particularly cooked the skin of the cooked tomatoes, and that stimulates. It also it helps with vision, but it also stimulates part of the brain associated with willpower. But willpower reminds me of a Tony Robbins seminar. They're kind of a pep rally where you feel fantastic and you're ready to go and you're ready to take the world on. And the next day you feel really good and you did, and then 3 days later you feel pretty good. And then by the, 2 weeks later, you're the same person because nothing changed internally. Willpower is amateur hour. What a person is looking for, what you and I are always looking for is discipline. Now, you say that word, there's a lot of people say one of two things when I say that. Number one, discipline is pain. No, discipline avoids pain. Discipline avoids pain, which means it brings pleasure into your life, if for no other reason than you avoided pain. Discipline brings all the great things in life, or most of the great things in life that you've already experienced and that you can continue to experience. The other thing I hear is, oh, well, you have discipline. I'm not that way. It's not like you're born with discipline. It's not, blue eyes or being, 6'7" or whatever the case is. You learn to cultivate it. And here's the good news. You can cultivate it. You can develop it. There are a number of ways to develop it. There is the first thing you want to do is regulate your internal clock. You want to set a rhythm because discipline begins I would say discipline begins with a rhythm, not with willpower. In other words, when you get up, you get in the flow of doing this and then this and then this. And by the time you get to the third thing, the fourth thing falls into place. So don't worry about going to the gym. Don't worry about erase that. Don't worry about working out at the gym. Your job is when you get home is to put your gym clothes on, to change, to put your gym clothes on, grab something to drink, do whatever you need to do. Grab the car keys, drive to the gym. It does not matter initially whether you go in or not. So wait a second. You mean if I drive there and I drive home, that's a success? Yes, because when you drive there and you get in the parking lot, your brain is not going to say, let's go home now. Your brain is going to say, while we're here, we might as well. So the act of the discipline aspect of it is driving to where you want to be, to where you may need to be. That begins the rhythm. There are also substances which can significantly help with improving discipline and improving that getting in the rhythm aspect of it. There is a European herb, sometimes it's called a ginseng, but it isn't. It's called rhodiola. Rhodiola is often the nickname is the warrior herb. And rhodiola increases mental stamina. Rhodiola increases energy and reduces fatigue. And best of all, it reduces stress and it increases the ability to be consistent. So herbs, unlike most minerals and vitamins, herbs not only have a physiological characteristic to them, but they also have a psychological and an emotional characteristic to them. So rhodiola is the thing that helps a person get into that rhythm to stay consistent. That's the word. Rhodiola equals consistency. To stay consistent even when they're tired, even when they're overwhelmed, even when they're bored, even when they're fill in the blank. Rhodiola is the substance that does that. There are a couple other substances. One is called Panax ginseng, and it's spelled Panax ginseng. You must make sure it is Panax ginseng, not just ginseng or any other type of ginseng. I never actually counted how many ginsengs there are, but there are at least 7 different kind that I can think of off the top of my head. Make sure it's the Panax ginseng. And this is what's known. I would describe it as the drive builder. It's the substance that not only boosts energy and it boosts motivation, it also supports that brain dopamine balance. Sometimes the brain chemistry gets out of kilter, which equals depression, which equals low drive, etc. Panax ginseng helps to balance the neurochemicals within the brain, but also it helps to deal with the how would I say this? It enhances physical and mental output. So and I'll just give simple examples. I think I'm capable of doing, say, 100 push-ups in I don't know, 90 seconds. Panax ginseng will help you squeeze out 12 more or 15 more or more than you think you can do. It helps to erase that invisible barrier, invisible ceiling. And it reminds me of the invisible dog collar. A lot of invisibles here. The dog collar with the invisible fence where the dog thinks it can run around, but it's only in that certain area. Panax ginseng helps to remove the here we go, self-imposed constraints. That's the big aspect of it. So and you can use these two together. You can use the rhodiola, you can use the Panax ginseng together. That, along with a powerful, measurable goal. And goal is maybe not the right word. Passion would be a better word. To me, goal is something, yeah, I did it, check off the list, what's next? Passion is something you can't stop talking about. And when you talk about it, it feels like you just drank, espresso or something, and you're so excited and you want to say that type of passion. And maybe going for a run or going to, I don't know, yoga or something like that doesn't give you that. But the thing that helps you, so yoga will help you become stronger and help you become more flexible, which will allow you to do the thing that's you're so passionate about. And when you keep that thing in mind, so for example, I've had people marathons. I want to run a marathon. I don't think I could do it. 26.2 miles, that's crazy. Okay, so we need to get your legs stronger. We need to get your nutrition fixed. I don't like doing that stuff. If you take it as a goal, you're probably not going to do it. If you keep that passion in mind, that marathon in this case, in mind, and you focus on this and you recognize these things are just the steps in getting you there. And once you cross that finish line, how do you think you're going to feel? I don't know. I've never done it, but I imagine I don't think I could do it, but that would be fantastic. Yeah. So let's go for the 3 mile run today. And this is not you talking with somebody. It's that internal dialogue and those two particular herbs in those three substances I said, including lutein, but especially the rhodiola and the Panax ginseng can help you get the chemistry right that allows you to achieve that which you wish. And I'm mentioning physical things because I love being physical, but this is also for business or career choices. It is also useful for I want to find the right relationship, that type of thing. You can use that as well. Please like and subscribe. And also, if you have questions, if you have any ideas, if you have anything you would like me to talk about, please write below. I make sure I cover everything. Thank you again for listening. See you next week.